Hey guys, welcome back to SLT Learning, and today we're gonna cover another questions in our TestNG interview question and answer playlist for automation tester. So let's see what we're gonna cover today. So how do you run a method for specific amount of time in TestNG? Okay, this is another things I will just say. There are another concept that we have covered about invocation count. So this will be pretty much similar to that one, where we need to use invocation timeout, where we need to see, let's suppose if you want to execute your same method, okay, and like you want to execute for 12 minutes, okay, so you can put the second accordingly, and that particular method will execute at 12 minutes for time spent, like multiple times. It will not like about invocation count like 5 times. It maybe takes 6 times, 7 times, based on the speed and based on the response that it get from the server, okay. And this is again, I would just say it would be helpful for the performance kind of test you want to see on test case, okay. So in TestNG you can run the method in specific amount of time. Understand guys, number of time and amount of time will be different, okay. So sometimes they will ask you what is the difference between invocation timeout and invocation count. So you need to understand, you need to prepare your question based on these two questions by merging the two questions, okay. So invocation timeout will be specific timeout that you need to define for your method, for your test to be executed, okay. And how you can do that? So let's see the syntax. The similar way, invocation count that we need to put invocation timeout is equal to 500. Over here the value will be in a millisecond. So let's suppose if you want to run it for 5 minutes or 6 minutes, you can convert into the millisecond and you can put the values over here, okay. So this means this particular method will be executed for 500 millisecond, and once 500 millisecond will be reached, it will be stopped, okay. So it will not about like how many time it gonna execute it. It can be sometimes it will be 3 times, or sometimes it will be 4 times it got executed. And this mainly we see to see the consistency and the performance of the test case, that how we have got our test case, okay. Now invocation timeout apply to the total time taken by all the invocation of the test method, okay. Suppose if you have used the invocation timeout and the invocation count, that means it will take the total time taken by all the invocations, okay, for your test method. If the method run longer than the given timeout, TestNG will terminate the test and mark is failed. So suppose if let's suppose if you have put invocation timeout for 5 seconds or 6 seconds, right, but your actual test case take 7 seconds, that means it is not within the timeline, okay, and that's why it will gonna fail the test cases, because you feel that test case should be complete in a 5 second, but it took more than 5 seconds, okay. So this will be another things you need to understand on invocation count. So the timeout and the invocation timeout, what would be the difference between them? So timeout would be applied for the one invocation, for the one particular session, okay, where the invocation timeout will be applied. Suppose if you have used invocation count is equal to 5, so at that time this particular invocation timeout will be applied to all the invocation combinedly, okay. So this is one of the things you should know, and you should answer like that way when they ask about how do you run your method for specific amount of time, okay. They will not say invocation word, they will just say specific amount of time. So you should know how you need to answer this question, and this is more than enough for you to explain. Sometimes they will say, okay, can you write down the syntax? You can write down the simple syntax like that way, and it is more than useful, okay. So keep learning guys, and thank you for watching this video. If you like our video, please subscribe to our channel as well. Thank you very much.